for having me today. Our organization was founded in the early 2000s. Kids at Risk Action was started by myself and another court-appointed special advocate volunteer in child protection. And he actually had made public policy on children's issues in Europe for 10 years. And when he came back here and realized how at-risk children, abused and neglected children were being treated, he became a guardian ad litem like myself. And so we've been here for over 20 years, a 501c3. We live on the help of others, and actually a Rotarian is one of the largest funders of our organization. I'm going to put up on the screen the beginning of the program. So can I ask for being able to share a screen at this point, please? Financial literacy is something that is really missing in the lives of at-risk youth. About 80% of America's foster children aging out lead dysfunctional lives. And the Children's Defense Fund, Marion Wright Edelman, has pointed out for years how that has become a pipeline to prison. You know, they don't have the skills for many things, but if you don't have the skills for money and earning a living and staying out of trouble, it leads to the court system and juvenile justice and criminal justice. And now in America, the recidivism rate in the prison system is 90% at 9 years, or close, you know. So our organization has found support for a program that builds peer groups. And the power of a peer group is terrific because people learn to trust each other and talk about their related issues. You have one here. We give each youth that's involved about $1,200 over the course of a year for being involved. They're small groups, 5 to 8 people. It's a new program for us. We're starting our 3rd and 4th groups this fall, but it is scalable and it teaches a lot. In a year's time, you can cover a lot of ground. Now, every nation has the problem. America is particularly harsh in its capitalistic system, so half of what people are going to learn with us is what not to do, how to stay out of trouble. The buyer beware motto really is huge in America, and I talk about a board member as an example. A young woman that bought a car worth $3,000 for $6,000 and put it on a credit card. It didn't run. She ended up getting into trouble with the money, so it wrecked her credit. You know, things happen here and everywhere because of things we didn't know, and we didn't have people to ask. So our concept is to have open meetings every month, and then we have developed some tools for building credit scores that exist and really are remarkable. You need a credit score in our country for sure to be able to get a reasonable lease on an apartment, a loan on a car, to buy a house. So at the end of the 12-month period, they have a good credit score, best as we can help them with. Some people come in with some pretty big problems. But they also have a balance sheet and a trading account at Schwab, who also gives them money for opening the trading account. And that might sound a little complicated, but really it's not. I don't have a lot of time to talk about what that is, but exchange traded funds are not the same as buying individual stocks. It's a big difference. There are many of them that have 20 and 30-year histories of 10% return on investment. And even in these chaotic times of investing, and we can help people understand that the stock market isn't just for geniuses and stockbrokers, that it actually can return a stable return over time. And that 10% is a real number. At least it is for the dozen or so exchange traded funds that we've looked at and the 1 or 2 that we've chosen. SPY is one that's just the Standard & Poor's, and it's always done better for the vast majority compared to the vast majority of investors. So we can take people that have a lot of issues. We work through organizations that have someone that, like right now, we're working with Foster Advocates, which has a few hundred youth in it. Have to be 17 and a half to get in, because you have to be 18 to have a bank work with you, and we have to have a bank to get to the Schwab and all that. So while there are some mechanical steps, while they're in the group, they learn how to budget. They learn how to gather and earn money, and the concept of not having to work for other people, how investing in yourself is the most important investment you will ever make. And we're really an uplifting organization trying to help kids that come from really, really hard places to realize that it's just skill building. It's just habit forming. It's not rocket science. You know, we're here to help you. And actually, I am amazed at how these first youth that we have worked with have had just monstrous problems, really, really big problems. And I'm really happy to say that they are sticking with us. They see the light at the end of the tunnel. Now, they may not get there completely, but even if half or 2/3 of what we're talking about stick, you know, the skill building is the core. It really is. It's the ability to recognize a bad habit. You know, some kids spend $10, $20, $30 a week on coffee or beer or things that they really shouldn't be doing. If they had saved just part of that money or spent it more wisely, they'd have got real value out of it. So therein lies, again, the power of the peer group, making people accountable to talk about where they are, how this is working for them, and where they need help. You know, fear hobbles people that don't have money. And whether you owe $1 or $1 million, the feeling is the same. And so hopefully the way we build the budgeting and the learning how to work with, you know, we can overcome these fears by replacing bad habits with good habits and being there to help them work out the problems that they are going to have. Because everybody's going to have problems, even really smart people that that just accidentally do bad things. And I've done them. I'll probably have a couple more in me. So I don't find it, actually, you know, it's almost a shameful topic for people, not unlike the topic that you work with, where people feel such fear of talking about things. And really, that's the only answer. If you don't talk about them, they fester. If you do talk about them, you find answers. So hopefully what we're doing is scalable. We're finding support for it. We're doing matching grants now. We started out, that $1,200 is a significant amount of money to us as a small organization. And we assume that at the end of a year or 2 or 3 of this, we will have a body of data that will show that this does work. Again, back to the 80% of youth aging out of foster care lead dysfunctional lives. That's been true in America for a long time. The mental health issues of trauma and the behavior issues that come with that have put a lot of these kids into systems that won't let them go. The juvenile justice system, our Supreme Court Chief Justice has said that 90% of the youth in juvenile justice have come through Child Protective Services. And almost all of the people in prison in America have come through juvenile justice. So those are the things that we work with. Really, on the one hand, it's all very simple. On the other hand, people don't understand concepts like usury. It used to be against the law to charge 18% in America. And it was the mafia that did that. Now, 29% is not uncommon if you're in trouble in America with money. So helping people build that credit rating, stay out of credit jail, be able to dream about having a house. And right now the market's crazy because the interest rates are up and all that, but everything comes and goes. And there are ways of doing things that we, the core of Kids at Risk Action, there's 3 of us. One's a certified poverty teacher. I should have said that at the beginning. And I myself am a entrepreneur that's worked with troubled companies and business, small business for many, many years. And so I've had plenty of experience with people in a lot of trouble with money. And the idea is to just have a group that can meet regularly and talk about these things, get to know each other, build some trust. And we can work with other populations. Right now, we're staying with the kids in foster care because that's where we are. And we do have larger than local aspirations. Again, as a practical matter, this is a scalable thing that can be taught anywhere. The fact right now about banks working with us is difficult because right now there's only one bank in Minnesota that's allowing us to work with this. It's their credit building program. It's a remarkable program. Basically, the youth takes out a $500 loan. They give somebody with no credit a $500 loan. And that loan buys a CD, or certificate of deposit, that pays back the loan during the course of a year. And then we, Kids at Risk Action, put money in their account every month in a separate account, a checking or savings account, and build their balance sheet up on that side. So those two things go a long way. We also help them. If you're going to build a credit report, a credit score, you want to have multiple payments you make every month, on time or early. We show them how to do that. You got a cell phone, we're going to help you make sure you're making that cell phone payment 10 days early, 5 days early, that sort of thing. So a lot of the answers are simplistic. I think the key to this is changing bad and terrible habits, one at a time, slowly over the course of a year, so that you come up with someone that's got a pretty good pile of good habits. And more than that, an appreciation of why they have those habits, where it's going to take them, and how you can have a productive life, own a home, buy a car, do the things that you want to do, go on vacation, whatever that is. And, work in a field you want to be in, how to build your own skills, monetize your own value, because as a human being, really, that's the greatest investment that you can make in yourself. If you have skills and you know how to sell them, people will pay. And again, that goes back to just being generally aware of what's going on around you, and that you are important in this equation. So maybe with that, I would go to questions, ask you to ask me what you find most interesting. I talk about the financial fundamental lessons here that I've kind of given you. But if you,
Mike, how do you get referrals to your program?
Again, please.
How do you get referrals to your program?
Well, how do I say that? Right now, I've been reaching out to different foster organizations, and actually, we're open. If you've got organizations that you think would like to know about this, we're promoting it. So just contact me, and I'll put my email in the chat and follow up. Yes, Cindy.
Thank you very much for this. I think I could have used this with my 30-year-old plus kids. Even if we know it and we teach it and we have it, sometimes they just don't get it nor absorb it. So is this a hybrid kind of program? Can we get in touch with it through Zoom? Because I work with these kids. I'm in Georgia. And as you had said from the beginning, it's it brings youth together. So we have different meetings with different groups. Could we show this over, I don't know, you said over a year, but how could we use this program to teach our kids?
There's two approaches. One is to if there's someone that will be in the program for, in other words, for instance, the Foster Advocates Group has a staff person that is in every meeting, same person. She knows all the people in the meeting. She knows those are her kids. She works with them. Mm-hmm. And so that way they're right there with us. And if you have that, we can work with you as an organization. And, so there's that way. The other way would actually be to talk to Emily, who is the certified poverty coach, who does some individualistic things through here that are lesser, smaller versions of the thing that we're talking about. Did that help?
And is this an interactive kind of?
Oh, yeah, no, it's the whole idea behind a peer group is just exactly what you got here. We get to know each other, trust each other. And our concept, by the way, is longer than 1 year. I don't know how much money we'll have to give to that group a year from now or 2 years from now, but the idea is that we are a resource. I am actually, just as a sidebar, an old scrapyard owner, so I bought thousands of cars. And when people need, I know the Consumer Reports side of things and all that stuff. So I put that out there myself. Now, Damon, who's the third party here in the teaching, is an entrepreneur's entrepreneur. And so he helps people understand the concept of skill building and monetizing you and how you might need to keep a part-time job to get the thing you really want to do on your own and be able to charge $100 an hour for it or whatever that is. So the idea of moving the thing forward goes beyond 12 months, but that's what it is right now today. And that's what we're promising. Did that
And
help?
how can we find that? Where do we go to find the program so we can?
Okay,
preview
it's
it?
actually on our website, and I would ask you, let's see if we can do that. If you go to Invisible, let's see, maybe I can share that screen too. Can I just put that up here? I think I can.
Yeah, you should be able to. And then we have a few people queued up with questions too.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Michelle.
No, you're good. This is fantastic. This is what this is about, setting up
Yeah.
partnerships.
Invisiblechildren.org. If you go to .com, you get Coney 2012. Don't go there. So the second button in is current initiatives, financial literacy. There's a 3-minute video. That's this. And then there's a little bit more here. Does that help?
Yes.
And do contact me directly. I mean, we're in a building mode. We feel that at the end of the year, if we've got 4 or 5 of these and the information, the data that comes from it, Kellogg Foundation, Pillsbury, somebody's going to fund this thing on a larger scale. The parts that I've mentioned to you are so important. We know how to talk banks into using the credit building score. Every bank in America is chartered to invest in the community. There is no more direct investment in your community than to help foster kids that are leading literally 80% for years, decades here, of leading dysfunctional lives. Because this is not, if your parents didn't teach you, and believe me, there's a whole lot of people that need this. We realize that. But right now there are a few groups that really, really, really need it. And that's where we're kicking this off. Kids that really, really, really need it.
So Maria, Julia, I'm going to have you ask your question first.
No, I would. It's not a question. I would like to share a project that I'm working with a Rotary Club in Montevideo, where a way to empower youth is to train their high school teachers, and then the high school teachers replicate the content about prevention on human trafficking to their students. We are working on this project since 2018, and I could say that it is successful. So it's a way to empower them.
Well, fantastic. Thank you. We may have you do a presentation at some point. Thank you. All right, Jerry, you have a question.
More of a comment, actually. Mike, thank you so much for the presentation. I actually got started in child advocacy through Voices for Children in San Diego, a CASA organization. And I was real impressed with this. I'd like to stay in contact with you. I have a couple of maybe good ideas, maybe harebrained ideas. I live in Thailand. And I got to tell you, these Thai kids and these Hill Tribe kids, if they had any money, they certainly need how to they certainly need to know what to do with it. And so I'd love to have a conversation with you at some point.
I'm Mike at invisibleChildren.org, easy to get a hold of. I spend my
Okay.
whole day, it seems, in front of this
Okay.
machine here,
Great.
talking to people. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions? Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much, Mike. I really enjoyed your presentation. I especially like the peer group aspect. I think that's critical, as you said, to the success. And then habit changing, taking time. I do agree that spreading it out over time is also helpful and taking a little bit at a time. So that habit formation, the ability to create those habits and have them ingrained for the future is wonderful. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time being here. And it was really lovely to get to know you before this meeting, as well as see your presentations. So thank you.
Thank you all.